Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. My name once again is Ola Diamonds. I'm called a strategist because I help people and individuals and businesses to move from here to where they want to be, because at the end of the day, it's all about result. And I'm excited that you're joining on this particular series. I'm sure you watched the part one of this video. If you are watching this afterwards and you have not watched the part one, I would just like you to go back. You'll see a link up there to watch the part one of this particular series, because if you don't lay the good foundation for yourself, you will not be able to build on it in the right way. So what did I talk about in the part one? In the part one, I talked about several things you must take note of. I talked about how do you understand the current business landscape. I spoke extensively about what we call the VUCA world, and I gave an example of the VUCA world. Then I tried to explain, on the third level, I tried to explain the challenges that companies actually want BA to solve for them and the value that BA create for several companies. Then I went further to explain these 4 simple steps that BA takes to solve problems. You want to know that? You need to go back to that video and watch that video, because I dealt with them very well, as simple as ABC, and you will understand right away when you watch that particular video. Then I went further to explain the 2 major steps, the 2 major decisions that companies make on everyday basis. Like, companies make 2 major decisions. What are they? You will find the answers in the previous video. Then I went further to explain, because people ask questions all the time, that what do they do on a daily basis? What do they do in the industry? Which industry do they function in? Okay, are they only in IT sector? The answer is no. So I went ahead to explain like the different roles that BA take in different industry. I spoke about healthcare. What are the roles that BA take in healthcare? I spoke about technologies, finance, marketing, in retail, and also in consulting. If you want to know those kind of roles you look out for as a BA in those industries, go back and watch that video. And the last part, which I try to put a nail on, is why your past experience is a very big value add for you as a business analyst. For example, if you have done some roles in the past, maybe you have been an operation manager in the past, you've been a warehouse manager in the past, you've done some role in the past, maybe you have been a finance manager in the past, you've done different kind of role in the past, maybe a customer service person. How does your past experience, how does it add value to you as a business analyst? That video actually laid to rest all those questions that you might have. Go back again to the link and watch that video before you watch this particular video. So now let's go straight to what do you have to pick up on this particular video. This video has a lot of things in stock for you. What I'm going to be exploring, let me just run through them for you. I will be explaining to you what is that simple definition of a business analyst. Who is a business analyst? We'll be talking about it in this video. You don't need to go anywhere. Sit back, relax, and pay attention to this. Secondly, I'll be talking about the 10 most common roles that you perform as a business analyst. When you take over that role of a business analyst, there are 10 common things that every BA, regardless of the industry, what they do today. Some they do 10 of them, some do half of them, some do only 3 of them. Like, people do like different, but these are the 10 broad roles that BA does across several industries, and it gives you a context into what they really do. Then what will you earn? What will your salary look like? I'm sure that you like money. So am I. I love money, and I like to get our students in our academy, I like to get them like very good employment, because it's all about money. Like, you are working to offer value and you want money. How much will you earn as a BA? When you begin to grow your career till you get to the next level, how much will you earn? Then I went further to explain, what does a day look like for a business analyst? Yeah, you wake up in the morning, what will you do in the morning? What do they do in the midday? Of course, it varies from a BA to BA, but what does a day look like, to give you a picture of the kind of career that you are coming into? Then I spoke about this particular one. I spoke about the 5 sacrifices that you must make, and they are the 5 investments that you must make in order for you to land that job, to grow your career. 5 sacrifices that you must make. Maybe these are the reasons why you're not getting a job, yeah? And you just want to watch that particular part of this video. You see, a lot of things are in stock for you. Then finally, I went ahead to explain the 7 steps to land a job starting from scratch. You heard me right. Starting from scratch. You don't need tech experience. You don't need programming experience. You don't need any kind of experience. What are the 7 steps that you take to land a job? These are very simple steps. They are proven, they are based on research. You won't find this anywhere. They are based on the proven sources with hundreds of graduates in which I have gotten jobs for, hundreds of people that we have worked for over the few years, and they have been successful in the market. What are the 7 steps that they will take? And these are the things that you will learn on this particular video. You see, you just have a lot of stock here every second, every minute till you get to the end of it. So what do we do right now? Let's go ahead. I'm sure you're excited. Let's go ahead and smash it. So let's go to the first part of what we are going to talk about in this video. When you say a business analyst, you get this question all the time. Somebody asked me questions. Ola Diamond, who is a BA? I want to enroll in People Amp Elite BA class, but I want to know, what will I be doing as a business analyst? You see the answer here. Now, who is a business analyst? And I have some definitions here, and I'll be reading them out for you from my slide. A BA is someone who processes, who interprets, who document processes, products, services, and software through the use of data insight. Please take note of the keywords here. It's somebody that processes, somebody that interprets, somebody that documents business processes. Yeah? And what does the person use? The person used data insight, which means use of data is a critical part of business analyst. If you have done this thing before, then most likely you have done something that has to do with business analysis. Second, this is from Wikipedia. Second definition here is from .gov.uk as an example, and it says that someone who analyzes, somebody who understands a business problem, which means if you're an individual, you analyze in order for you to understand a business problem, and you also try to look for business opportunity, and you will now go ahead to undertake research to understand several things, to understand the business, to understand people, to understand organization, to understand processes, information, data, and technology. You will see me explain that subsequently as I will give you some examples into that. Then that is a definition of a business analyst. The last one here is someone who bridges the gap between business and IT. Yeah, and you will see this one coming from the CIO.com website. It's someone who bridges the gap between business and IT. And you'll see relevant example also as we go further. These are just a simple definition of business analysis. Now, let me go further and explain this one to you. This is the best definition I've seen over the years of experience. And this one actually was taken from the Babok. Yeah, it is the IIBA definition of a business analysis. So it involves these 6 things. And please take note of these 6 things. Now, definition of it is somebody that enables change in an organizational context by defining needs and recommending solutions that deliver value to stakeholders, which means that it has to do with enabling change. Change here can be any kind of initiative. Changes here can be, we are trying to improve a process. Changes here can be, I'm trying to maybe increase our profit. We are trying to drive revenue. Changes here can be, we're trying to move from one application to another. So the changes here are actually endless. Anything you undertake in a company is actually a change. Yeah? And there's a context to that organization. Context means that, for example, if that organization is a startup, that is a context. If that organization has been existing for 100 years, that is a context. If that organization has predominantly a particular ethnic background, that is a context. If an organization, for example, has a lot of multiracial people, that is a context. If that organization has used a lot of legacy systems and they are trying to move to an enterprise resource planning kind of a system, that is a context. It tells you that problem is not the same thing for the same organization. Context becomes important. For example, when COVID came upon all of us here, working to provide solution to a company during the COVID era, the COVID itself is a context because there was a lot of issues with global mobility during that period. Context becomes important, which means that the solution I prefer, 2-3 years ago might not be the same solution I'll prefer now because context becomes important. And what do? You define needs, which means you want to look for what are the needs of this organization? What are the problems of this organization? You need to understand needs. And you know what I want to explain to you here? I've seen a lot of issues here many times. I see many BAs, they want to give me solution without understanding needs or problems. That has been the biggest fail of many BAs out there. I don't know who taught them. I don't know where they learned from. Yeah, what they try to do is that they try to look for solutions when they don't even understand the problem at all. And these are the things that you don't want to do. And I've seen this problem with many BAs out there, and this has been the major problem with many of them when they work in complaints and they don't succeed on their role. People are so eager to recommend solutions. You could see that in that order, you need to understand the need of the complaint, you need to understand the opportunities available for the complaint for you to recommend solutions to the complaint or to the business context. Many a times, when a BA is confronted with some problems, people just go ahead and start giving solutions without taking time to understand the problem. And guess what? The next one here, which is the fifth one here, you deliver value. Now, the value here is being measured by the customer, by the stakeholders. Right? You see that value and stakeholders, they go hand in hand. At the end of the day, it is not about the application you develop. At the end of the day, it's not about the process that you improve. At the end of the day, it's not about the system that you work on. At the end of the day, it's all about, did you deliver value? And who defines what value is? It is the stakeholder that defines what the value is. And this is the overall definition of business analysis as a whole. And if you pay attention to this, in all your journey, as you go through this particular video, you'll have gotten an idea of who a business analyst is as a person. Now, let's move further here. So let me ask you this question. This is a question time. So look at your screen and spend a bit of time on that. Which of these roles is not performed by a BA? So I will spend a bit of time to wait for you. Based on what I've defined for you, and I will go back and show you that based on the question, what I showed you earlier about those 6 things that BA gets himself into, like enabling change, contest, needs, recommending solution, and also delivering value to the stakeholder. So look at the question. Which of these roles is not performed by a BA? Manage stakeholder, help to develop strategic plan of an organization, undertake feasibility study of a project, create and manage project metrics, gather and document requirements, and last, elicit and analyze business problems and opportunities. So let me hold on again for like few seconds for you to look at this and tell me which one of these roles, there is one of them that is not being performed by somebody that is called a business analyst, right? I'll count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. If your answer is the first one, you're wrong. If your answer is the third one, you're wrong. If your answer is the fourth one, you're wrong. If your answer is the fifth one, you're wrong. If your answer is the sixth one, you're wrong. And finally, if your answer is the second one, you are wrong. Why? Because the answer is none of them. Why? Because all these roles I've mentioned, they are the roles performed by business analysts. For example, manage stakeholder is part of the definition. Help develop strategic plan of an organization. It talks about that change that we talked about. Undertake feasibility studies of a project is talking about the change. Create and manage project metrics. It talks about the part of the value. Gather and document requirement. It has a lot to do with understanding needs and also recommending solutions. Elicit and analyze business problems and opportunity. It talks about the part of the need and also the part of the solution. You can see now that all these 6 things are embedded in that definition of a business analyst. So I confused you, right? I just want to be sure. This is actually how I coach my students. Okay, so let's go further to the next one. What are the top 10 roles of a business analyst? Particularly, let me just tell you, there's a video I did, and I'm posting that video in the coming days, and I went deeply into this, explaining in details about each of these roles one by one. But let me just give you an overarching role. These are the top 10 common roles. You don't need to look further anywhere. These are the top 10 roles that are being performed today by a business analyst. So I'll just run through them one by one, and I will take my time to explain them a bit to you so that you have an idea of what is being done for each of the roles. But we'll look and wait back for that video where I take my time to explain this role in details, giving you relevant example on that. Number 1 is that a BA engages in requirement elicitation and analysis. What does this mean? It looks like an English language, right? Big English, big grammar. What it means is that BA spend time to stay with users or with stakeholders to understand their needs. What do you want? How do you want it? When do you want it? It could be a business application. What do you want on the application? Do you want a single sign-on for the login? Do you want to use your Gmail to log in? Do you want to use the company email to log in? Do you want your user to use their phone number to log in? How do you want it to be? That is what we call requirement elicitation and analysis, because we want to understand what are the users of that system, what do they really want. Then you put them together to analyze them and you come up with the documentation. The second one is process mapping and optimization. What does this entail? You could imagine, for example, maybe you're trying to develop an inventory system for a company, right? And you want to draw a process flow. Before you develop a solution for them, you want to understand what are the steps that people take. For example, there's a need from the business. The business says, I need this particular part to be supplied. Then the trigger comes from the business to the procurement. Procurement looks at it. Procurement sends it to the technical expert to look at the requirement, to define the spec. Now, I'm already drawing a process map. For example, a coffee shop. I'm trying to improve a process for a coffee shop. Before I can improve the process, I need to document the process. Now, a user coming, which is the customer coming, the customer orders for the coffee. I want cappuccino. Yeah, do you want milk? Do you want sugar? Which level of sugar do you want? The customer orders for that. Then an empty cup is taken. The empty cup is taken to the machine. Then from the machine, there's a button. You dispense the coffee. You get the coffee. Then you take the coffee, take it back to the end. Now, will the customer pay at the beginning or customer pays at the end? This is part of what you do in process mapping. And from there, you optimize the process. The third one is data analysis. Data analysis means I take input of data trends. It could be a website as an example. We are trying to improve an e-commerce website. Data analysis means that maybe we are trying to improve the website. A data analysis can be something as simple as we want to optimize this website. Then I want to take the data to understand where do people browse this website from? Do they browse from a Chromebook? Do they browse from a laptop? Do they browse from a PC or a MacBook? Do they browse more from their mobile or from their PC? You want to understand this data in order for you to develop a more customized solution for the user. That is what we mean by data analysis and interpretation. It could be I'm trying to work on an employee engagement program where I need to build some solutions to the company. Now, data analysis can be I'm trying to do a sensing to take an information from the employees to understand what do they like, what do they want, how do they want it, then I'm able to now develop a solution for them. The fourth one here is requirement documentation. All I've talked about, data analysis, process mapping, they are one of the ways in which you now come back at the end of the day and you try to document requirement. The next one is stakeholder communication and management. I have key stakeholders and there are many of them. If you watch the last video, you see that I spent my time to talk about example of stakeholder. It could be the government, it could be regulator, it could be the users, it could be your sponsor, it could be your employee, it could be internal customer, internal stakeholders, it could be external stakeholder, it could be regulator, it could be anybody at all. Now, how do you manage them? How do you communicate with them? What are the things that you do with them? Now, if you spend your time to look at these top 5 I've mentioned so far, you will realize that a lot of the roles being done by a business analyst has a lot to do with understanding problem. Look at it. Data analysis, requirement documentation, stakeholder communication, process mapping. It majorly has a lot to do with understanding problem. Why? Because the moment you develop the skill to be able to understand problem, then you are able to provide solution to it. This is where most BA fail. And I don't want you to fail in that. This is the reason, I will tell you once again, this is the reason why you need to enroll in our Elite Business Analysis School. It's a different one. These are the things that I will explain to you because people are so eager to jump right away into providing solution without taking time to understand the problem. That is why majority of the tools you learn as a BA has a lot more to do with understanding problem. How do you extract a problem? How do you know where to start from? Among many unknown. We explain that in our Elite Business Analyst School. And if you want to attend our school, you can go straight to our website, www.peoplearm.io, and enroll right away. We run our school on a monthly basis. Our school runs for 2 months, and there are a lot of things in stock for you. So go to our website and enroll in that. So let me just move to number 6. Now, the top 10 roles of a BA. Number 6 is solution design. You could see we are now at a level whereby we have understood the problem. We now need to beginning to recommend solutions. Now, solution design means that I'm trying to now design this solution before I develop this solution. Remember here, this is talking about solution design and evaluation. Many a times, people also skip this step. You have to design a solution. Oftentimes, you have to prototype that solution before you implement that solution, because sometimes you just go straight to the market by implementing right away, you are going to make a lot of mistakes. This is one of the roles that a BA does. Then the seventh one here is quality assurance and testing. Yeah? For example, I'm developing a solution. I need to validate that it's doing what I planned it to do. This is where QA job comes to play. I need to test this solution. If it's a software as an example, I need to validate that this software is working as expected. I stress test it. For example, I'm developing an application. I want to be sure that if 1 million people eat it per day, is it going to stand the test of time? That is what I want to check. It could be a website, for example. Then I want to check if the user comes to this form and type a wrong email address, can the user get a prompt to tell the user that the user has done something wrong? This is part of the quality assurance and testing. The next one is change management. In the last video, I spent time to explain the role of a BA, right, in several industries as a change manager. And this is one of the biggest roles today that a BA performs in the industry: change management and adoption. And spend your time, and if you are well taught, you will realize that this is like the engine room. You realize in that definition I showed you earlier, that change is the first thing that you find there, because change is the only constant thing for every business. When you are a BA and you understand how to manage change, how to communicate change, how to understand change, how to assess change, how to do impact readiness of a change, then you are already getting like to that place whereby you can begin to make the money, right, in the BA world. Now, the next one is risk assessment, problem solving, issue resolution, because issues come up from time to time. No matter how much you do everything correctly well, yeah, things go wrong, things go bad. So here, what do? You spend your time to understand the issues and provide solutions. And the last part is process and continuous improvement. You remember the coffee I told you? Yeah, people come to buy from your store. Maybe at the beginning, people pay at the end when they are served the coffee. Then you want to improve the process by saying, can they just pay when they order for the coffee so that they don't have to pay at the end? Maybe in yours, maybe you dispense the coffee differently in different cups. You have to mix them together. Maybe you can now say, okay, can we prepare the coffee in such a way that if somebody wants cappuccino, I press a button, cappuccino is dispensed. This is part of process improvement and continuous improvement. You need to understand the process, map a process, see the losses in the process before you spend your time to now improve the process. These are the top 10 roles today by BA, all in one screenshot: requirement elicitation and analysis, process mapping and optimization, data analysis and interpretation, requirement documentation and management, stakeholder communication and management, solution design and evaluation, quality assurance and testing, change management and adoption, risk management, problem solving and issues resolution, and the final one, process and continuous improvement. Look at this screen once again. This is what you will be doing on a daily basis, yeah, as a BA. And you will spend a lot of your time on it. And in the course of your journey learning to be a BA, you now begin to learn tools and technique that we use to execute any of this role. For example, there are tools and technique to execute requirement elicitation. There are platforms, there are tools that you now need to do. We now begin to coach you on how you go about them. What is that part of the thinking process of a BA? These are the things that you now go through. So with this, you can see that being a BA is just an interesting thing. And you will find this BA in every world. Let me even shock you. If you're an entrepreneur, you just want to have a startup, you want to just get involved in somebody's new business, being a BA offers you a lot of insight, a lot of opportunity to help any business to grow, because it is a thinking process. It gives you a lot of tools and technique in your armory that you are able to solve a lot of complex business problem. I know what is in your mind. What's in your mind next is, okay, Ola Diamonds, how much will I earn as a business analyst? Show me the money. How much will I earn as a BA? So now I've gathered the data from different industries, from different places, and I'm here to present to you how much you are going to be earning as a business analyst, regardless of the country that you are. Every country in the world, particularly the top countries we focus on: Germany, Canada, United States, UK. they pay very well for business analysts, particularly even from a junior role. They pay very well for a junior role. So let me show you. For example, go to Google today. Don't take my word for it. Like validate, confirm my word. Just type on Google, how much does a business analyst earn? You will find these answers. The average salary today in UK for a business analyst is £48,000, which is a good way to start. Yeah, it's an average. Some earn more, some earn a bit lesser, depending on your experience, your skill, how you grow yourself. Some even earn as much as 120, 150, 180, depending on the level of your role and the expanse of value that you offer to the organization. Let's go further. If you go to Glassdoor, you know Glassdoor today, respected platform. Glassdoor also have it there, 48,739 on Glassdoor. Let's move from Glassdoor. Let's now go to Reed. If you go to Reed today, which is also a respected platform, Reed says that an average BA today earns £58,000. Yeah, and it tells you that is a very good money to start from. It doesn't end there. Let's go to more platform. Total Jobs. Total Jobs says today that average BA earns £52,000. Don't take my word for it. These are the things that you can find out by yourself for you to understand that you have a lot of opportunities in this industry. And the last part, just go online and check. There are many platforms. You see this one available here is from Prospect, and it talks about the BA earning as much as 80K. And I don't want to even over-excite you. There are BAs that earn as much as 180, 150, 120,000 pounds, not even dollars. If you're talking about dollars, we're talking about the 150, the 170, the 180 minimum across. For example, in US, for example, it's over $100,000. In Canada, for example, BAs are earning 140, 160, 170, depending on your experience. Some people start as low as $70,000. Yeah, so it depends on how well you build yourself, how much you grow yourself, where you acquire your training, and how you get yourself into the market. So I'm sure you're excited, yeah, about that, yeah. And go back once again and look at this, like very juicy role to have. Lot of things. For example, there are benefit there. Most BAs work remotely. You have life at your own times. Though you work hard, but you have life at your own times. So now we're going right away to talk about what is a day like in the life of a business analyst. What's a day like? Like, what does a BA really do? Like, when they wake up in the morning, what do they do? So let me just talk about that briefly. There are a few things that a BA does, like on a daily basis, and I will just run that to you. Yeah, so let's see what it is, and I'm sure that you want to know. And number one is that, what does a BA do? So a BA, for example, in the morning, review emails, prioritize tasks, plan for the day, then communicate with their stakeholders. That's an example of what a BA does, yeah, in the morning, just a typical life. For example, it could vary from a BA to another BA depending on the industry, depending on your experience, depending on the kind of project you are working on. In the midday, you're trying to gather requirements. If you have gathered requirements already, you don't do that for that day. You document or do some reviews, and you do some meetings with your team. In the afternoon, you're trying to do collaboration, work with your team, design reviews, data analysis. You're trying to do some stuff, then close up work. Sometimes you have to read as a BA, get some knowledge so that you can grow yourself, because as a BA, you have to keep on growing yourself. And sometimes you have to send report as a BA, right, to your stakeholders. Yeah, you have to give status reports. Sometimes BAs spend more time on some of these tasks every day than others, depending on the phase of their project. So I know you are very much excited. I know you're very happy. Now you feel pumped up and you feel like, nah, I just want to start this. This is a career I want to choose. I'm excited right now. It looks like you've answered all my questions. However, because we don't give fluffs here, and I promise you that any of the video of ours that you watch is going to trigger you to take an action, because every time you see something juicy, you see something lovely, you see a prospect out there, the reason why everybody is not there, the reason why everybody is not doing well on it is because people don't know. You need to ask a question: what do I need to do for me to be able to grab all this juicy opportunity? It's lovely, it's nice, you can get yourself up, ground up within 4 months to 6 months, you're already in the market. Yes, it is possible. I've done it for hundreds of people out there. Yeah, and the testimonials are just too many to count. Yeah, however, there are 5 must give investment and sacrifices to grow your career and land a job as a business analyst. Interestingly, it's not only applicable to this. Maybe this is the reason why you're not getting a job. Maybe this is the reason why you're not growing your career. These are the 5 sacrifices you must make. Particularly, I made an extensive video on this. I made a very lovely video on this that I'll be posting shortly. Watch out again on this playlist. There are many things for you. There are 5 sacrifices that you must make to grow your career and land a job. So let's go straight into number 1. Number 1 sacrifice that you must make as a BA for you to grow your career and land that job. Okay? That is now the price you have to pay. Pay attention to the 5 things I'm going to mention. And please, you must put them on your book. Put them on your reminder. Because if you forget them, you're going nowhere. No matter where you go to learn, no matter who coach you, right? If you don't pay attention to these 5 sacrifices, you see, I'm telling you humbly. Because this is where I have seen, this is what I have seen that is common to most people that don't get to that success line. Number 1 is time. All this juicy thing takes time. It requires patience and process. I spent time in a subsequent video to explain this more in details. To be a very good BA out there, you must dedicate time. Why am I saying this? Somebody comes to me and says, how many hours in a week? How long does your training take? How long does this one take? And I tell the person and say, we don't do shortcuts here to become a BA. No, I don't offer coaching services where you just get the shortcut to become a BA. There are no shortcuts. You must invest your time. If anybody out there tells you and say, spend 2 hours in a week, you become a BA in 3 months, please close your laptop, close your phone, possibly throw that phone away because somebody is misinforming you and this person is going to kill you faster than you expect. Your career is going nowhere. You must give time. Have you heard about the 10,000 hours rule? You must give time. It takes process, for you to achieve this. It's clear. The goal is clear. The success is so guaranteed. However, these are the duties and the role in which you must play. It requires time. And I like to make a joke about this. You cannot get 9 women pregnant to give you a child in 1 month. It requires 9 months, thereabout, to have a baby. You have to give yourself to that patience and process of time for you to become that fully matured BA, okay? And that is what we give. This is the kind of coaching I offer to many of our students, to all our students out there that enroll into our academy. I let them see this. Number 2, and this is what nobody out there is going to tell you because people just want to lure you and say, I want to coach you. No, it requires time. Number 2 is that it requires effort. You have to grind it. You have to be accountable. You have to be responsible. When you are given an assignment, you have to put yourself into it. Don't do a Google answer. Don't do a copy and paste answer. Don't go and dump answer. Think, because when you are given an assignment to do, you are given a case study to go and work on, the intent of the case study is to help you to redesign your brain, your thinking process, to begin to think like a BA. Remember, I keep on talking about this. It's all about your thought process. When you see a problem, how do you get into a problem to understand it? You have to put in the effort, and I call it grinding it. You have to grind your way to become a business analyst. This is why these are the things that is part of what is built into our curriculum, something that helps you to grind it, that holds you accountable. You have to submit your assignment just at the right time. Number 3 is that it requires money. If somebody tells you, is that cheap? Trust me, don't follow that way. You have to spend money, not just money in training. That is why if you are negotiating how much a school costs, most likely you will not pay for certification. Most likely you will not buy books. There are a lot of books that you buy as a business analyst that does not even have anything to do with the competence in terms of the technical skill of a BA. You have to learn about teamwork. There are books that you need to read, that you need to buy. For example, there's a popular book today I recommend to all my students called The 5 Dysfunction of a Team. How do you note issues with a particular team? There are many books out there that you need to read. And these are the books I have a list of books that I recommend to all my coaching clients for them to grow their career. They are not just a BA kind of technical books. They are books that you have to read. And you have to come in to understand those books because that is what makes you to become a 360 degrees round and well-grounded business analyst. You have to pay money. It requires money. You have to invest your money into it. Remember, the investment of time, the investment of effort, the investment of money What is the fourth investment? The fourth investment here is the investment of volunteering. You have to volunteer, and it comes in many ways. You do internship, you do personal projects, you do capstone projects. Let me tell you, in either of these things, you are volunteering. You are trying to put yourself out there. The intent of volunteering has to do with hands-on. When you say you want to do volunteer, it means hands-on. It could be your friend's startup. You volunteer in your friend's startup and begin to use the skill you have learned to develop yourself. Then you can come back to your coach and say, I'm working on this. I have a problem here. Can you help me solve it? Do not wait for somebody to dump even a project on you. There are too many projects around. Write a startup CEO somewhere, a co-founder somewhere, and just let the person know, I'm here, I can do something for you. Give them an example. I can do a flow chart. I can do a process flow. I can help you optimize I can draft user story. Go out there and help somebody out there. Internship, personal project could be your startup. Put it in your startup. Use it to build your startup as an example. It's part of volunteering. And also, the last part of it is also a bit linked to volunteering, but there's a leg of it linked to volunteering, which is the part of networking. It is the fifth one that you must give. This is the reason why when you join an academy that has that high quality, you have an access to collaborate, you have an access to a community, you have an access for mentorship. That is where it links a bit to the fourth one, which is on internship. Because sometimes when you intern, you are also getting a cheap mentorship because there's somebody senior there who is now coaching you, who is giving you feedback, who is telling you how not to do it, who is giving you coaching on few of your mistakes, and you are growing. Internship, volunteering is a cheap way to learn. When you pay heavy money, big money to attend an academy, what you need to do is that look for opportunities out there. When you put yourself to work, then you can come back to whoever coaches you and say, I'm handling a problem, I have a challenge, please come and support me. And you are going to get support right away. This is why these are important. Remember the 5 sacrifices that you must make. 5 sacrifices you must make. Sacrifice of money, sacrifice of time, sacrifice of effort, sacrifice of internship, sacrifice, which is volunteering, then sacrifice of networking. When you put these 5 sacrifices together, I'm sure you're listening to me right now and you're thinking, it looks like this has been the reason why I've not gotten that job. Yeah, tick the boxes and check yourself on that. I bet with you, if you are extremely very strong on these 5, you don't have a job, come to me, I will offer you free service. I know what is on your mind. What are the 7 steps I need to take, Ola Diamonds? And here you have the 7 steps that you can take to land your dream job as a BA. These 7 steps, if you Google it, you won't find it anywhere this way. This is based on practical experiences. This is based on research. This is based on what we have seen that as well. This is based on testimonials of several of the students out there which I've coached over the years, not only as a BA, as a Scrum Master, as Agile Coach, as DevOps Engineer, in different kind of field, as Operation Manager, as a Production Manager, as HR Manager. This is based on what I've seen that is common to all of them. If you can tick these 7 boxes, these 7 steps I want to mention to you, then you are already good to go. What are these 7 steps? Number 1. Acquire the right knowledge. Please take note of this word, right. I didn't say acquire knowledge. I didn't say upskill. I'm talking about right skilling here. Acquire the right knowledge. Attend the right class. Attend the right academy. This is why I'm inviting you once again to People Elite Business Analysis School. That's the reason why we call it our Elite Business Analysis School, because we train people on what the 1% of the 1% of BAs out there don't know that makes them stand out from the rest of the other BAs. Yeah, attend good schools, attend good academy, get on your YouTube, get on books, get on podcast. By the way, one of them won't serve you all. Sometimes you have to do combination of all of them. I talk about the book. There are books you have to read as a BA in order for you to grow your career and get to that level where you now start coaching other kind of BAs in the industry, right? Acquire the right knowledge. That's number 1. And the question to you right now is, how much of BA do you know? When I talk about acquire knowledge, then maybe in my subsequent video, I will tell you about the level of knowledge. Like, if you want to grow yourself from the ground zero to the highest level, there are things you need to know. And let me just talk about it briefly with you. People think, I know something, I want to be a BA, has a lot to do with only knowledge. No, there are 4 levels that you go through. Number 1 is you go to the level of awareness, which is knowledge. Number 2, you go to the level of doing. Number 1 is knowing. Number 2 is doing. Number 3 is thinking. Number 4 is when you are culturally in that role. I can explain that in details, but the purpose of this video, I will talk about that another time. So acquire the right knowledge, which means you now know what a BA is. When you acquire the knowledge, the second thing you now need to do is that get your hands dirty. I see many people that come to me today and say, I attended a BA class, I'm now a BA. Then I ask them, then I throw a case study at them. I tell them to get back to me 1 week for a solution for me to assess where they are. Then they come back and tell me and say, well, I didn't do that. I don't know how to do that. But I know it, but I can't do it. Then I said, no. Then you're still struggling on the first stage. Yeah? It's not only getting the right knowledge, it's now about getting your hands dirty. How much of your hand has been dipped into several things about BA? That is my question for you. So you get yourself into projects, into coaching, into internship, into volunteering, then use the 10,000 hours principle. Get your hands dirty. Like look for case studies, work on case studies, work with people, volunteer with people. Get your hands dirty. That's what I do, right? I don't spend too much time showing my students slides because, yeah, I give you slides for me to give you an information, to give you knowledge, for you to pass through that first stage. However, this second stage, what I'm most interested in, I can't teach you in a class and teaching you about research for 5 hours when you are not researching. The best way to know how to research is to research. I can teach you about the basis of research, teach you about the tools to research, teach you about the platform to research, teach you about where to find some information. However, the best way we teach you how to research is for you to research. Give you a case study to go and research on. And the moment you do it yourself, you come back, then I can beat my chest that you are getting your hands dirty. Then afterwards, you build up yourself to do more research. Number 3, I talked about this in the sacrifices you have to make. Number 3 is network with people. Go to conferences. That's why I told you about the prices you have to pay. You have to pay the price of money. Attend conferences. Don't always look for free things. Attend workshop. Go to LinkedIn. Chat people up. Chat them up. Right? Put yourself out there. It's very much important. Network with people. People that don't know you can't grow you. People that don't know you can't give you feedback. Yeah? Network with people. That's number 3. Let's go straight to number 4. Number 4 says you need to put yourself out there. Putting yourself out there is important because visibility is number 1 thing in marketing. If people don't know you, how can they remember you? If they don't know you, how would they know the value that you offer? So put yourself out there. Write blog. I tell my students in the first month of coaching you need to start putting yourself out there. Create a blog, write your thoughts, go on LinkedIn, share your knowledge, write articles, share about what you are learning. No matter how young you think you are, share your knowledge. It is from your article, it's from your blog, it's from you trying to do sharing your knowledge with people that somebody gets to know that you are somewhere. When you go to a conference, don't just sit back and feel like I attend this conference. Network with people and put yourself out there. Introduce yourself to them as a BA already. If you don't do that, nothing is going to happen. These are the things that many of you don't do. For example, let me ask you a question. Maybe you are watching me right now. Let me just give you a small litmus test I give to all my students. I ask them a question. After 1 month of being in my class, I will ask them and say, if I go to your Twitter handle, I go to your Instagram handle, I go to your LinkedIn handle, and I go to everywhere you belong to on social media, can I see a digital footprint that tells me that you are a business analyst? Maybe you can apply this also to any career of your choice. Maybe you are watching me right now, maybe you're a photographer, maybe an entrepreneur. Can somebody we know, when somebody read your WhatsApp update, people in your network, will they say, that guy, if I have a BA problem, let me go to him? If the answer is no, then most likely these are one of the reasons why you're not landing a job. Because people don't know what you offer. Yeah, and I make a joke out there with people and tell them and say, Apple today does adverts. Coca-Cola does adverts. Microsoft does adverts. Who are you not to advertise yourself? Messi, Ronaldo, they do advertisement of themselves. Brand come on them. Brand that we already know, they merchandise them. Yeah. Then who are you not to put yourself out there? This is one of the hallmark, one of the things that you have to do in order for you to increase your chances of landing a job out there. If you are a BA, you have gone through a BA course and nobody taught you about putting yourself out there aggressively, guess what? You are eating your pie. Did I say pie? Yeah, I actually have a training on pie, on performance, image, and exposure. Let's save that for another day. Let's go to number 5. Number 5, there are a lot of stuff here. There are a lot of things. That's why you need to subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel follow this channel, subscribe, hit that bell because there are a lot of things for you. Number 5 is learn the art of job hunting. Yeah, it's not enough that you know the job. It's not enough that you can do the job. It's not enough that you just put yourself out there. There is now a part of the art and the science behind job hunting. Job hunting is a project, particularly in some kind of countries. You can't just come to UK as a BA and assume you just land a job as a BA. No, there's a method to the madness of looking for a job. Maybe you are watching right now and you have been struggling to land a job. The problem might be your CV. It might be your LinkedIn. It might be you not complying with ATS. It might be you don't know the platform to go and apply and when to apply on those platforms. Yeah, this is why you need to learn the art of job hunting. These are the things you benefit from People Amp as an example. Yeah, we give you this trick, we give you this insight, and we guide you all the way on your job hunting process. The next one, which is number 6. Remember, we just have 2 more. Yeah, and I'm so happy that you have stayed on this long on this. It tells me a lot that you are committed to this your career. Now get coaching on interview. Yeah, in interview coaching, it's not just about answering questions. You need to understand what are the common questions. I have an ebook that is coming up in the next 2 weeks about 20 common questions in an interview. Yeah, that I've seen that is common to most of interviews. You need to know the kind of answers to give. You need to build confidence for an interview. What are the things you have to do to build the confidence for an interview? Maybe you're watching me and you feel like, well, I don't know how to speak. I don't know how to put myself out there. I don't know how to face interviewer. What are the things you need to do from a mindset point of view that can help you build that confidence on interview? These are the things that you begin to learn. You need to get coaching on an interview. And finally, we are now at the end of this. What is the final part? Continuous learning. It's not just that you get a job. I see people who have gotten job and they don't grow themselves. You know what happens to them over time? They begin to decline. Right? When they lose that job, they can't get another job so easily. Certification comes to play. Yeah. In the subsequent video, you will see me talk about what are the certifications you need to do as a BA. If you want to do that video, please put it in the chat box. Then if you want me to take on any topic at all, put them in the chat box, like in the comment box, then I will definitely take it up and do maybe a video concerning that. Attend bootcamp, join professional association, because from there you are able to build your network. I am so excited. I am so happy that you went through this part 1 of this video and you are now at the end of the part 2 of this video, and you can see, based on what we have gone through so far, the reason why it is not as complex as you think to become a business analyst. And guess what? Between where you are currently to that dream of your good job, what is that bridge? That bridge there is People Amp. We are here to serve you, right? I will be your coach. I will give you, I will handhold you until you get to that place where you will say, yes, I'm good to go. I can even mentor others myself. Yeah. So please go to our website, join our BA bootcamp, recommend us to a friend, like this video, drop comment. Please do not forget to like this video so that other people can see this video. This is the video. This is all you need to become a business analyst, to start your career as a business analyst. Like we say in People Amp, we say it all the time to everybody, and I want to say this to you. Your dreams are valid, and you have a right to live that life without borders. And what we do is that we'll help you to amplify this your dream. We'll help you to live that life without border. That's why we are called People Amp. We help you to amplify those dreams of yours in order for you to become a reality. Once again, my name is Ola Diamonds. I'm called The Strategist. Remember that we also have other courses. We run Azure DevOps class, this is cloud computing. We run courses in product designing. We run courses in different areas, black belt, Six Sigma, green belt, and the likes. And we also run corporate trainings in different areas, leadership, and all the likes. So if you need us for anything at all, please reach out to us and we'll be available for you. If you think there are other things I need to take up, that you think we need to talk about, I need to bring the content out there, because this our approach or bringing content out is very simple, explanatory, no fluff at all. Please reach out to us, drop the comment there, then we will be right on your face. Guys, thank you very much for being here. I love you guys. I'm happy for you guys. I'm happy that you guys are here, and let's take it over from here. Have a lovely time. Peace out. Bye. See you at the top because that is where I'm going to be. Bye, guys.